Anyway, yes.
In the original Tron movie, do you have any costume mishaps that you and Jennifer just kind of joked about, like the whole concept of the computer world?
I have to hear this.
Did you had any, like, when you wore the suit with spandex, did you have any costume mishaps?
Not really, because they were really sturdy, sort of a spandex type of material. We had I don't know how many pair, about 10, 15 pair of them. The only thing that, and I think Cindy will tell you, is that we were under so many lights. At that time, we were under these huge banks of light. You may have heard the story that one night they turned them all on and Burbank had a brownout because we had so much. They had these giant walls of light in the huge sound stages. And so naturally, you would start to get very warm. We could not have shadows. So if we started to sweat, hit, have sweaty pits or something, which I want to tell you, it was really, really hot. Or start dripping, we would have to go change those outfits into a fresh one. And that was not an easy thing to do, to get in and out of those things. It took 2 other people to help you in and out of these. And especially when you started to sweat inside them. Now, flash forward to Tron Legacy, from what I'm told, Garrett Hedlund was electrocuted quite a few times because there was electric circuitry in the suits. Thank God we didn't have that. My circuitry in the original Tron was put on by a magic marker and added later. It was very old school. So, but Garrett, every time he started to really heavily perspire, you get something like that, he said it kept him awake. So luckily I didn't have to do that. You never know. Anyway, that's about the only thing. I mean, pretty boring.
How did you like the whole experience in Gods and Generals? How did you prepare for the role of Longstreet? And are you in any way a U.S. Civil War buff or fan?
Oh yeah, very much so. In fact, I'm going to be in the Manassas, Virginia area the 22nd. Maybe do you know about that? Having a big opening of Gods and Generals, the Blu-ray, and Gettysburg as well. And having a big Warner Home Videos, having a big red carpet event for that up there in Manassas. And so I think the entire cast is coming. And the only reason I got the part of I know the director very well. And Tom Berenger backed out at the last minute because the role wasn't big enough to his satisfaction. So Ron Maxwell called me, because I used to come and harass him all the time. Why am I not in these movies? And so he got, And in the new Blu-ray edition, most of the part that I was in, which was originally cut out, is all back in again. So it was only cut out because it was a 4-hour movie. Now they can release it in Blu-ray in 5 chapters. So but I'm a history buff, so I knew all about James Longstreet. So it didn't take any real preparation for it, other than I was 10 years older than him at the time. But I looked the same. I wouldn't have wanted to wear the new suits at all. It took hours for them to get in. They didn't work all the time. And see, ours was just tights. We were wearing tights and a dance belt and boots. And I had a hockey helmet and motorcycle motocross pads on. And they drew with the, that really heavy-duty magic marker that's for wardrobe. It doesn't wash out. And, they added the circuitry later with the computer animation. So I would much preferred that. I didn't want to get shocked. The other one, Olivia and Garrett, they couldn't sit down in it very well. So they had these leaning boards where they leaned against the board to sort of rest in between takes. And so my preference was old school rather than the new one. Even though the new one looked cool, I mean, it really was.